Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Back from the dead after being sick. But while being sick, I worked on a couple of things that are not too interesting to stream. When I felt already a little bit better, but my voice was, or I didn't want to stress my voice too much. Let's put it that way. Did I build? It seems I didn't start building. Alright, okay, so I guess I merged wrong. Perfect. So let's do that again. I already redid that, come on. Which one is actually the correct one? Let me check the dev stream. Where is it? In correct. In Onyx, okay. Or in the library. Core. It's a header, okay. So geometry. We didn't mark it as explicit. I don't think we need to have it as explicit, to be honest. Does it add anything having it explicit here? No, not really, I think. It doesn't really add anything. We have a couple of those. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that is a wrong merge error as well. Or actually, I think I can do it like that. Should be able to do. Okay, that didn't work. Unfortunate. Okay. I think we have a couple of other errors like that probably somewhere. Let's see. And then I can show you what I did, which is kinda amazing, not gonna lie. I mean, it's not the best thing that you have ever seen, but it's quite nice. $32. F64. Hello, Capuche Man. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. I'm feeling way better. I mean, already since Sunday or something like that. I could have probably streamed on Sunday, but then I was like, might as well take that Sunday off as well still and then recover fully. But I am basically like fixing merge errors. Wait a sec. Is that something I kinda changed or? Like that, and then with entity registry like that. So probably it should be that. Or and then okay, then this is a void. This is a void, okay. That's a little bit of a pain because I have a lot of changes between two streams and I just merged right before the stream start. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, as soon as we get it to run again, there will be some terrain work. It shouldn't take too much. It's mostly that it seems like I just didn't merge correctly, or I mean, there is a lot of different changes between the two streams that I merged, which kind of makes it a little bit painful. I should have probably merged one up first and then branched off and then worked from there. It was a little bit, or maybe I should have created, I don't know. Okay, yeah, we have that here, so we don't need that. And we don't need that. Because, yeah, oh, we're down to almost nothing here. That makes sense. We need to get rid of those. Probably have to add them in another place. Okay. Fair. Oh, okay. You want that component factory here. Do we oh, we take it, okay, yeah. Perfect. Component type ID. Okay. What do we have? Oh, okay, we put it 2 times there. See, it seems like I cannot merge, that's all. To be fair, I really hate the current setup I have for Git for that. Component type ID, perfect. And I didn't merge that perfectly, perfect. And now you saw a teaser what is new. if you read the branch name. Or you read that include here. So editor goes here. That one goes somewhere here, probably here. Graphics. I mean, it's not really very sorted anyway, so we probably have to go over that eventually. Ah, that was the change that I saw that in the diff and I was like, they're the same, and they were definitely not the same. Oh my god. What did I do? Work back to 3. Why did I paste vector 3? Oh, we are almost done. Perfect. Components panel. Oh, oh my god, really? See, that I saw as well again in the shitty thing, and then I busted it again. Okay. Right, game core maybe? Yeah, get component factory, I think it was like that. Okay, and then we have the ignore case starts with, yeah, that is not a const here. That is probably as well not a const actually. Don't need to take that const. Alright. Getting close. And then let's cross our fingers that I did everything correct. And it actually works. And I didn't completely destroy my branch. I should have maybe not merged in before the stream start, but I wanted to get it in. Because it's actually quite nice. Let's see, do we have... No, we... Probably, let's open that folder, it's faster. And then we go, nope, here. So yeah, basically I added some localization. Volume. What? Ignore? Man, what? Did I forget to... Oh my god, why is that a... Why is that a reference? Alright, so the thing is, where was that? Volume, mesh, or volume terrain component, right? So it's this one. Wherever we register that one. Is it, it's here, right? Oh, no, not here, here. I mean, that should be then good enough. Or just translating that one. Oh, we need the render graph nodes as well translated. So basically components, message ID, and then I think we actually don't have any registration for render graph stuff, right? I'm actually not sure anymore. Perfect. Oh yeah, that makes sense. UI module. And then localization module. Get that here. And settings. Local settings. I think we need more than that. Yeah, the asset system as well. Oh, sorry, we don't need that. Stupid me. It's injected. I forgot about that. Oh, perfect. And we have strings, so that looks good. But all of those are translated. And volume terrain, perfect. So in theory, you could switch language now if you want. That's the main thing I did. I'm not sure. Probably I need to do one more thing. Because I assume that when I load that render graph, I have an issue with some nodes, or... Oh no, actually, they have a name here. Perfect. Oh yeah, another thing that I changed is... Let's go to the shader graph editor. Well, that didn't work. I said maybe because you can have only one window of them currently open. Oh, that's interesting. But so we have this float thing here, right? And then I changed it that we now have the symbol similar to what Unreal does. So like I have like that, then like that's absolute. Then we have a divide and the multiply, of course. But that's actually not the nice thing that I wanted to show. The cool thing is now with the language file, you can give it aliases that you can search for. So you can search for addition like that with add, because it's like a string search, right? So it matches. But you can as well do plus, which is like the sign, but you can as well do that and it shows it. So yeah, we can now search based on aliases if your node has an alias. So that's quite nice. All right, so long story short, that's all. Let's actually clean our workspace. So submit that as fixes and then we go to the terrain. So we stage all of them. Yeah, should work. Fixed merge errors. push changes immediately. All right. So with that, the merge to def should be way simpler. All right, so let's see. Where were we when we left off? So we have this, and then here we have the terrain settings. I think we hopefully still have that. We cannot do -2 here, right? Yeah. And we have this terrain settings changed exactly, which is kind of nice. So that was, I think, a thing I did off stream as well, maybe. I'm not sure anymore. But basically, we get this here. And then what we can do is probably remove that component again, which I'm not sure we can currently. Hey, what's up? It's going good. And how is it going for you? I am recovered. Which is nice, not gonna lie. What can I take as parameter here? Can I take... I can take the asset system, I can take the entity registry actually. So what we can do is actually entity registry. Does it need to be dependent function arg? Needs to be a const ref. That might be a problem, but let's see. Yeah, that is actually a problem. I cannot take a like a ref. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's only const. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Okay, then let's hack it for now. Not quite sure how we want to do it, but struct entity command buffer basically, and we put in a dynamic array of in place function which has a void here. All right, yeah, I think so. And then we do void remove component entity ID and then we have a registry here. We could actually have it as a, well, whatever. Remove component T from entity. But actually we do that with mqt commands, pushback. We copy everything in just to be sure. Well, actually, registry is M registry. Oops. Then this is this. Should we check for void here, for null pointer here? Probably not. I mean, technically we should. But it can't really be a null pointer. I mean, technically, no, I think in the context where I'm running it, it cannot be actually a null pointer. We do another one, which is add component. Why not? Not sure if we need it though. This is private. And then we have a constructor here that takes an entity registry. Oh, actually we don't need that. Oh, yeah, we do. Which takes an entity registry ref. So basically at that point that we ensure that it's not null. And that's about it. And we do M registry. That's also that we can delete components within systems basically. And then we can do here an entity command buffer where we return Perfect. I think that should already do it. So that we can do here entity command buffer. Why not yet? Oh, well, actually, we can do that, right? Entity ID. So we do all of that. And then at the end, where is that? Is that an entity component system, right? Probably. How can I do that then? Oh, actually. Wait a second. So when we do a system call, we collect them, we call it. When we do an entity access, we collect them. Once as well and do that. Perfect. So I think what we could do for now is in the destructor we could execute them, right? Probably that should work. It's not the cleanest, but for now it will work. We will think about that later. I will actually put it to do. They should probably be run at the end of the frame, not. So that should work. And we can instantly test that by removing this here. And actually it will fire right away when we load the scene once. And then let's see if we had hit it a second time. And that way we have like changes in the editor show up in the scene, in the C++. So we hit it once. We don't hit it a second time, perfect. And now if I change something here, we should have hit it another time. But I guess I didn't. That's fascinating. That should have worked. Unless I broke it somehow. Alright, so the factory gets card, yes. And I thought that I did that when I changed something here. Okay. Patch command, git apply, that's cool, gonna steal that. Yeah, sure. Feel free. That's totally fine. Alright, I broke something with my factory. Perfect. Oh, it's in the component panel that I broke something, probably, right? Yeah. It's in the component panel where I did that source tree. I can't remember actually why I did that anymore, the patch command thing. Ah, it was for imgui, right? For imgui and stuff like that. I think mostly imgui stuff. I think I broke it here in the component panel, probably. Probably revert, like merged wrong. Yeah, exactly. So we take that, let's hope it copied it. But I mean, it's already good that it... Oh, we do already try create component. Oh, but that's wrong, okay. Oh, well, that's the wrong branch, never mind. So it's here. Instead of doing this, we do that part. And then here, component name. Yeah, imgui. I'm trying to use imgui to write a visualizer for the frame graph JSON. For your own frame graph or what? Or mine? No, because mine already has one, right? But yeah. Nice. Nice stuff. Alright, so we got that, and now the thing is, if we change that, yes, we get here again, and we get here again, and here we have now the changed settings. And then we fire that once, remove the component, and we're done, right? So every time we change something, we add like a flag. And we can handle the flag in a system, and then we unregister the component, and then this system doesn't trigger anymore. And the good part about that is we handle the initial load from disk the same way we handle changes in the editor. So we don't need two functions, like one, oh, an editor stuff property changed, or hey, we loaded a level from disk. They are both handled basically in the same way. So basically that would be an init here. That's basically the init system. And that's about that, and we don't need that terrain modified flag anymore because of that. Because that is now pretty much implicit, because we will get our beautiful callback, or like system will be triggered. Then we change our terrain system here. Perfect. So with that, we have this part, so now we can actually do this terrain stuff here. So we wanted to have chunks of this size and resolution. Man, that 1.5 weeks that I was not gone, I kind of lost that because I worked on something else. What I actually wanted to do here. Do I even need to do something here? Oh yeah, we would need to initialize the chunks. And yeah, we would initialize the chunks and then have and then each chunk needs to be initialized as well. What we don't have here is how about we do two things? So first of all, that will be called volume terrain settings. And we don't need the component afterwards. It's kinda obvious. Or do we want to have the component afterwards? I don't know. It feels like it doesn't add anything. But so far everything else has a component behind it, right? What do you think, guys? Should we name it volume terrain settings components or volume terrain settings? Every other component has the component afterwards. Yeah, probably. It's a little bit unfortunate. So yeah, we have that. Perfect. And I think it's easier to look for, right? Because then you can do something like that. And you find all the components in theory. Or like everything that is a component, basically. So I think it's a little bit easier to find probably as well in code search. Probably. Then we have here. Can I see the type ID here now, right? Oh yeah, I can. Or is it? Is that correct? 050. Or is it the same for all of them? It's not the same for everyone. Okay. I cannot really save it. Yeah, sucks. But I guess we can. We'll re-register it. Or we're actually not registering anyways. Yeah. Let's take the breakpoint here. Not sure if that's everything I had to change. It's not. Now it is. Ah, those are not translated yet. We need to do that. WhatsApp, did you see the new feature that I have? Which is kinda useless, but I added it while I was sick. And I thought that it is kinda nice to do off stream, because it's not that nice to do it on stream, to be honest. Let me quickly take... where is my tea here? God damn it, I should have not done that like this. Oh, actually I have it here, right? Yeah. Because I need to change my scene file, and then I can show you. Data scenes, test scene. We should definitely have... What? Oh, because it's in here. Terrain. Where is it? Down here. Okay, we need calculator. Please this decimal in hex. Perfect. Small a, small b, small d, small e, small that, and then we have, this is my name. That should still work now. Let's hope. So the thing is, what I did, okay, well, yeah, that's, so you see it here actually. So we have now this, if there is nothing here, all the other stuff, it's like a translation file already. So we go here to this beautiful translation file. Well, actually not that one, sorry. We need to actually go to the correct one, so this one. Hello, please open. And then you have here, and we paste in the ID as a string, and then you have a translation here. And then if we restart, because there's no hot reloading on that file yet, we have terrain, and it can be translated into any language. So I added localization for the editor and basically for the game as well. Kinda useless, but it's nice to have, and it was anyways needed in the and then I feature crept a little bit So basically what I did, I cleaned up those nodes, the base and math nodes. They have now icons instead of labels. Now we have multiply. So they are looking now like that instead of having at the top here add or subtract. And another thing is that with the thing of the localization, I added that when you look for a node, we still have the string search. But now they have an alias that is defined in the language file as well, so you can search for plus or divide, while the divide is actually a little bit problematic still. Multiply. And it as well supports like plus, so it goes like that. So it's pretty nice. And yeah, it's basically done like that, that in the language file you can put aliases for nodes, and then the string search looks for those as well on top of the actual translation. So you can translate that as well to the language that you're in if you want to, if it's not called plus in your language, for example. The hex number is the hash exactly, yeah. Because that's what it actually looks for. It's just that I output the ID as well to help you. Because when I read that file, I hash that thing. So I'm not storing that anywhere. But it's the same thing that you put in here, basically. So it always looks for the type ID. If it is a thing with a type ID, it looks for that. So it's pretty nice, I would say. It's still very rough around the edges, but it works for everything I did so far. But it was a pain in the ass adding all those localizations. And now, but it's better doing it now than like in a month from now, because I already added. You can see that they are not that small, those files actually. I mean, this shader graph nodes file, it's like pretty long because we have all the variations of like addition for all the data types and stuff like that. It was a lot of copy paste and yeah. Was a bit of a pain, but whatever. We're done now with that, so we have that support, which is kind of nice. Okay, so we did this change here, so we have the volume terrain settings. And then we go to the volume system again. Perfect. And then we add another struct. Volume terrain runtime. And we have, for now, let's do it easy. And do a volume chunk. Does that actually help me? No, not really, because the volume chunk is definitely not what we want. I mean, we probably want to name it like that, but oh, whatever. Let's name it different for now. Let's call it volume terrain chunk. And we have a dynamic array of those, which basically has a chunks array here. And then when we do this, we add as well the volume terrain runtime component. And that one, we don't actually need to do anything, because we don't actually we don't want to do anything with that. So this one is a const read access, because we don't actually want to write to this. And then we have this, which is the one where we want to write. So terrain settings, and then volume terrain, well, something like that, terrain component. And then we create chunks for each of those. So basically for each okay, let's do it like that for now, but okay, let's do if terrain settings dimensions is not to 3s16, I think, or okay, yeah, -1. Well, actually, if it is -1, we basically just emplace 1. Otherwise, we emplace basically all the chunks. And then S32 resolution. Resolution and chunk size. Ah, wait, actually... Oh, that's a little bit problematic, not gonna lie. Probably would have to check it here. Actually, we could probably check that here, but we will do that later. Actually, let's put a comment here. Compare if resolution or chunk size changed. Can we do that? We might actually not be able to do that. Yeah, we would need to store it here and then do it. Alright, whatever. So basically what we would want to do is... I mean, we could... we can grow in any dimension dynamically. Let's not support that for now. I don't know. Because that makes it a little bit complicated with a fixed size grid. So let's assume that all of them are at least 1. Let's actually hard code it for now. Let's do 4. S16. So we add 4x4x4 chunks. Let's actually have an vector s coordinate. Why not? So that one is basically vector 3s16 0 0 0. Well, actually that is kind of automatic. And then here we do is it oh god, how is it again? It's like divide and then blah blah blah. Always forget it. We probably have it up somewhere here in like one of the shaders anyways. Where we have that same logic. Is it here maybe? Not quite. I think it's in the edit volume shader where we might have it. No? Oh yeah, we do. No, it's not a height map. It's a volumetric terrain generated on the GPU. We already had it working. I just killed it. Well, I mean, I'm doing it now dynamically. I think it actually is still probably there. Maybe. Let me see. What is not working now? I think it might actually still be rendered there. Or like, it just should still be able to be rendered there. What is it? Let's not add that for now. What? Shouldn't that work? What the hell? Ah, signed unsigned mismatch. Okay, well. Oh yeah, that's fair. Is that not everything? What is it? But where? Oh man. What? Unsupported type in static assert. I said that you are not allowed to have dynamic array here. Let's see. Let's remove that crap for now. No, that should be fine. Oh man, what is it? C++, what is it? Okay, yeah. Is it that you're not? Eh? Do you not like that or what? Oh, is it? It's const, right? Without the... yeah. Without the ampersand, because that's implicit anyways. We should get a better arrow for that if I can make that somehow. I don't know. So is that terrain still there? No. Why is it not there? Oh, because we don't have a... Because we don't have a material, maybe? Are we not running the shader anymore? Oh, we might not be, actually. Terrain panel. Oh, we might actually not be, because we might not run this here. Oh no, we do. We don't have a scene view panel. Okay, well, that is a problem. Huh, where did I call that? Another merge mistake. Scene editor, probably. Then we should see it again, I think. And then I can show you the terrain. Oh, here. In render scene viewport, okay, yeah. What the hell was that? Why did that change somehow? I don't know, man. That's very weird. Terrain panel, set scene view panel. Is it just... No, it's not that, okay. Oh, it's this, okay. So that should work. Maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. See? So we only have this chunk currently, which of course is not that nice. So what I'm doing is now infinite scaling, like adding chunks of that. And we can already edit it, and that's all on the GPU. So, I mean, currently we only have a brush sphere, but yeah. And we can only add currently because I didn't add the other operations yet. But I wanted to do the scaling first, and disregard that we ran out of the vertex buffer. So the vertex buffer is too small for all the vertices now. So then this artifact starts to appear. But yeah. Yeah, it is pretty much very, very flexible. And very fast as well. So, I mean, I can restart it. Actually in render doc so that you can see it. Currently the density of this is like way too much, I think, because it's actually insane how many triangles I add for this small thing. But it's basically a proof of concept, and we probably iterate on top of it. That's interesting. I kinda broke my debug labels, I guess. So it will be a little bit difficult to find which one is which one. Well, actually, it's not that difficult because yeah, this one is the mesh. So yeah, you can see that it's like highly tessellated for like it's a 32 by 32 by 32 meter chunk, but it has like 100,000 triangles already. And we can optimize this here a lot because we don't need it distantly rasterized when it's flat. So we will probably do an octree on top of it. But for now that's good enough as a proof of concept. I don't know, I mean you saw that already, right? I mean that's still the old one, that's not the infinite scaling. Because I want to, if I click outside here, I want that I add another chunk here. So that's what basically this will take care of. Yeah. Alright. So we restored that at least, that's nice. So we add chunks here, so let's bring that back. So we add this one again, this one again. I mean, probably we don't want to add that if it already exists. Is my assumption, but for now we will add it. Because the problem is when we do that, I think it wipes whatever we had, so it will always override it. Even though maybe something changed where we don't need to recreate all the chunks. So that's an 3. So why was that another thing here? So isn't it one is I divided by dimension, and then one is I modulo dimension, I think, and then this is I minus the modulo, something like that, or no, it's not. No, we need to. Nah, why did I do it? Why did I make it flat? Let's not complicate it for now. X, Y, X, X. Let's optimize that later. I know it for a 2D array, but for a 3D it's a little bit painful, not gonna lie, but it's something along those lines. It's actually not that hard to do, just that I don't want to think about that now, because that will anyways not stay that way. Alright, so we have those. And now we probably just kick off the shader for that already, right? So, or do we? I mean, we might, right? So, terrain panel. I mean, actually, yeah, we probably do that. So the create volume mesh. It's probably actually something like that, where Yeah, let's see. We have here the shader, right? So we take that basically. And oh, that sucks. Because we would need to load the shader here, which would be a blocking thing. How can I do that? I mean, I guess we could queue it actually into the rendering system that we want to generate it. I mean, I guess the ImGUI frame graph thing, I just want to figure out bugs and learn the book not to use in my engine. Oh, okay, I see. How is the smartest way to move forward with that terrain stuff in the generation, I mean? So yeah, we need, or do we need? No, we don't actually need anything here because we don't sync it back yet. Actually, we need the buffer handle here. Mesh buffer or mesh over mesh vertices. Don't need an index buffer because we don't have one. And I don't know if we do. Well, we probably do. Like that, probably mesh vertex count, right? So then it's basically the same that the create mesh has, right? Oh, actually, no, sorry. Oh, yes, no, we need that. Yeah. Now we need another one, which is the voxel grid. So those are the three things we need per chunk. So that's the raw data, and that's the actual renderer. Although we might split that. We might split that out to another component actually. Like a struct volume mesh render component or something, or volume mesh component, maybe volume terrain mesh component, maybe something like that, right? Where this is dead and this is actually the raw data. I think that makes a little bit more sense logically. I think we need the graphics API here, which we should be able to get, right? Yeah. So we create the buffer and we go to create mesh, volume mesh. What? Create? Create? Isn't it create? Oh yeah, there is. So it's this. I think we only need one actually. Because we're not changing that anyways. Why did I do that? Chunk voxel grid like that. Keep that up here. Cluster count we do as well, take from there. Sure, go ahead. I don't mind about that at all. Again, I am not anymore sure what exactly. I think it's for the node editor and I think I'm Gizmo? Or is it just the node editor that I patch? I'm not sure anymore. What do I actually patch? Node editor and stack layout. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sure, go ahead and use them. I am not too hooked or too attached to them to say, and I mean, I don't care actually. It's fine. API, graphics API. Okay. So we create that buffer. Mm-hmm. We could do two things now with that. So we could either go... I think there's another dependent argument, right? Exactly the frame context. What's in graphics frame context actually in there? We have the graphics API there as well. Maybe we don't do that then. Maybe the frame context is enough and we just do frame context API create buffer. And then it's already, sorry, it already is publicly available. If you go here, then you can already see the source code. We are currently in 0.3.2 officially. There is a dev branch which is already a little bit ahead. I am about to finish the features for the next release, but the dev branch, I'm not sure if it is stable at this point. It compiles, but I'm not sure if it is actually functional fully. The main branch should be more or less stable. It's still it's the third version that we really or that I released, so take it with a little bit of grain of salt, but it's there. You can take a look. Yeah. True. I actually have to adjust that because I think in the, yeah, as it says in the channel description, I didn't change that yet. Good point. I will actually note that down. Give me a second. Where do I note that down? Actually, on the second monitor, probably somewhere. Let's open my notepad. Good old notepad, classic one. Update channel. I think it's in Discord as well. Although maybe in Discord it actually I might have already done it in Discord. FAQ. Oh yeah, it is updated, yeah. Okay. We just have to update it in the channel description. Cool. Where were we? Oh yeah, I wanted to push. Let's do it kinda ugly for now. Scene, frame data, right? Frame context. Frame data. Where do we static mesh? Probably, right? We already do that. Yeah. Let's do that. So if we don't have a frame context, we continue for now. Well, it's the easiest way to get that in there, and then we do scene frame data. Voxel chunk to init. Is basically we probably just give it the voxel buffer here. Or do we need the... Oh, we might need the coordinate as well, so probably give it the whole chunk as a copy. Doesn't really matter. Because the buffer is anyways copied, yeah. And correctly copied. Make a pushback. We go here. Dynamic array. Oh, we can't do that. Struct voxel chunk. Vector S. Chord and buffer handle. Grid. And then let's do chunk. Coordinate chunk. Buffer grid. And place back. What is it? Function is missing. Oh, because damn it. course I do that. All right, and then we go here. And I think wherever we cleared those, we basically do scene frame data and voxel chunks to init clear. And then we go volume. No, sorry. Then we go to create mesh here. Get rid of that. We don't need this at all. Don't think we need any of that crap here anymore. And that's why it has to be somehow a little bit more dynamic than what we currently have. And then we basically launch that, but for each of the ones that we basically have here. So we do context, where we go to static mesh render task again, do this beauty thing here, import our scene frame data, which I hope we can. Yes, we can. And then for each const auto ref volume chunk in voxel grid. No, not voxel grid, sorry. Scene frame data volume chunks to init. We push that. We don't need to do any of that crap anymore. And we run all of that. Oh yeah, we need to command buffer. No, I don't have added any load yet. I mean, technically yes and technically no. I mean, on the GPU I don't have it added yet. On the CPU I kinda have it, but it's not exposed as a load. But let me quickly, I don't know if... I mean, I showed it already in the past. I don't know how often I already have shown it. Let me quickly open it. Where is it? This one. Let's mute it because I don't know if it was copyright. I mean, it wasn't because the YouTube video is still up there. So this is my first one where, like, way back in Unreal, and the core of the volumetric system is basically ported now to Onyx. And it basically had somewhat an LOD system. You can see that it gets like denser and denser, and it's like automatically basically updated based on the level of detail that you want, which was a free number that you can choose. And that was all on the CPU though, so this doesn't, and you can see that here as well, it's like less densely triangulated in flat areas and more triangulated in like areas where more features are. But I need to port that to the GPU because that doesn't exist yet. And the algorithm is different as well that I used in Unreal than I do now, but all of that basically still exists. I mean, that's foliage that doesn't exist, but the 3D noise and stuff like that as well still exists and stuff like that. We had that already a little bit running, but then I moved it to the GPU because I wanted it to be faster and more performant. So that's where we are now, basically. What is it called? Voxels? Probably. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I can show that as well again. Let me quickly, I think it's better in my Chrome browser because I have my own user here. Let me quickly just go there. Drive, and I don't want to leak anything, so that's why it's on the second screen for now. Give me a second. I think that one is it. So I did a presentation once at my, like at Ubisoft, for this stuff, and I think I went into dual contouring. I'm not quite sure if I did actually. Did I? I might have gone into dual contouring. But that's marching cubes. Doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, that's marching cubes still. Oh yeah, because the other one was marching squares. Okay, I didn't actually go into it. So what I'm using is dual marching cubes. What that basically does is, you can see it here, it's similar to the dual grid that Cakes implemented in his tower defense game. It's just a 3D version of that. So basically, instead of connecting edge center to edge center, you connect center of a cell with a center of a cell through the edge center. And then what that gives you is like hard edges, right? You can see it here in the red, that then you have nice hard edges if the surface is like a hard edge, basically. So dual marching cubes has some benefits in that sense over the normal marching cubes and dual contouring, because I think dual contouring doesn't have sharp edges as well, but I might be wrong on that. It's a long time ago that I looked at dual contouring. The benefit of dual marching cubes as well is that that one I know for sure, it produces less triangles than dual contouring. So even if dual contouring has sharp edges, dual marching cubes produces really low triangle count most of the time. But it's a little bit more expensive to do. This one is definitely dual marching cubes, or like a marching cubes with a dual grid is a little bit more performance heavy, because you have to create the octree, and then from the octree you create the dual grid, and then you run marching cubes on the dual grid. That's basically what it is. So you have this octree, then you build the dual grid on top of it, which is really just connecting octree centers to octree centers, and then you get new cubes that are a little bit malformed, but that doesn't matter for marching cubes, and then you run marching cubes on that. And this one is the one that I now run on the GPU. It's called cubical marching squares, which is the benefit of it is it's a little bit more expensive. That's why it's on the GPU now than instead of the CPU, because the CPU was a little bit slow. But you can multi-thread that one, because dual marching cubes, and I think dual contouring as well, they always need neighbor information to do it correctly. Because you always need like the cell next to you to triangulate. And do like the cubical marching squares, what it does is it basically folds up the cube into the faces, and then runs marching squares on each face, which gives you line segments, and then you join the line segments where they connect to another face. And that way you get like a line strip, and that is your surface basically. And then you create triangle fans or triangles. If you only have like 3 vertices, it's just a triangle. If you have more than 3 vertices, you create a triangle fan out of that. And you have a little bit more logic on that, but I can share the paper actually for that. Is it dual Marta? I have dual contouring here. Oh god, that's not what I wanted. Is that the one? Does it still work? It should be still working. Yeah, so that's the dual the cubical marching squares can recommend it. It's a little bit tough to read because they take a little bit stuff for granted, I would say. But if you have any questions, feel free. It's actually not so complicated. It sounds way complicated, way more complicated in the paper than it actually is. But yeah. Alright. So, but we bind our voxel stuff, so I think that should work, right? Because I think I didn't decide yet. I did not decide about which GI approach I want to use. You have any suggestions or recommendations? Where is it? Yeah, okay, it was voxels, good. So I thought that probably one of the topics I want to look at for, like, once the terrain editor is done, which is currently the thing that I'm working on. So I want to do a game, and that game basically needs the terrain to be done, and then I think one big other feature that it needs, of course, like any other game, is shadows, and we didn't do shadows yet. And I wanted to look at shadows and GI somewhat at the same time, even though they're not directly connected necessarily. I wanted to see if I can do ray traced shadows and then probably the GI as well, with like some ray traced stuff. I would want to try a fully ray traced, but maybe that's... I would want to try it at least fully ray traced. And not CSM. But I'm not sure. I will save that. I think I already saw or have that in my references. Global illumination with the surface. But yeah, still good to double check it again if I have it in my notes. But yeah, I didn't really... Yeah, the list of features is so long, so I didn't really bother with global illumination right now. But it's on the list of 10,000 features. Okay, yeah, so why do I keep going back here? So we have that bind here. I think that's all I need. Yeah, that's all I need to initialize. And then we need a position. So probably we should... Vector 3, F32. Let's do the normal here, or cell position. So that's cell size. God damn it. And that's cell position. Which technically, actually, I don't need for this step. So let's actually leave it out for now. We need it in the future, but we don't need it now. because we only do a flat plane anyways. And a flat plane is everywhere the same, it doesn't depend on where you are in the world. Oh, but we do... Oh no, we do need it. Hold on, we do need it. For the actual voxel position, unless we do an offset. It looks like you want to beat Unity. Not really. I am a single person, I cannot compete with that. I just want an engine for myself that is not horribly slow. Because when I did my stuff in Unreal, as I showed in the video, right? The boot up time of Unreal was the one thing that annoyed me the most. Mostly I was working on that as a side project, right, on the side while working anyways in the games industry. And I wanted to do some stuff on my own on the side, more engine related or more rendering related. Because I was doing mostly gameplay at that time. And yeah, I always found like volumetric terrain to be very interesting, so I wanted to implement that. And then one thing led to the other, and Unreal annoyed me because it was so insanely slow. And that's just a turnaround time, right? You just starting the project that when I started working on it was slow, and then every time you do a C++ change, everything needs to compile again and then sync with Unreal and whatnot, and it was a pain. And now at work as well, I had to work on an Unity project again for a couple of weeks, helping out. And holy shit, that is annoying as well. Every time you do a script change, you have to wait what feels like an eternity to press play in the editor. It's insane. Because I mostly used like proprietary engines. I worked with Snowdrop Anvil at Ubisoft, and now I work with another one for another AAA studio that I cannot say because of NDAs, but yeah, they are way faster in terms of like the productivity, let's put it that way. The runtime of or performance of the game is a separate topic, but the editor and tools were like way fast, or are way faster. It's also a reason why I do my STL library, which will be blazing fast to compile, but not really so fast in runtime. I mean, yeah, it always depends what you like focus on, right? And I mean, I bet you can get stuff right out of it at runtime then as well. But yeah. Okay, so we bind that grid. That should already do everything we want. I will give nothing to this for now. Let's just plainly initialize it, I think. So that should at least initialize it correctly, and then when we do the volume what is it? System. Is it this one? Volume and the material. Why we don't do that? But we actually do const volume terrain runtime component. Is that it? No. I can't keep the volume component. Probably. I need something else here. Let me think. So we need the terrain panel actually. What do we do here? Yeah, this is kind of wrong, right? So here what we would want to probably do is... Although that's the... Hold on, that's the edit. I don't care about the edit for now, actually. So let's actually kill the edit for now. Probably just kill it by setting this to 0 again. That's not the nicest thing to do, but that will kill at least the edit. Probably will go back there and then wonder why the edit doesn't work anymore, but whatever. And then volume. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, well, no, the volume chunk then needs to be... Actually, the volume terrain then probably needs to be... Oh, god damn it. Probably the runtime. That's where I wanted to go. It probably needs to have the mesh as well. Because we cannot, unless we create entities here, which I think is something I don't really want to do for now. So let's go to, again, create mesh. And we create those two. So we basically take that out here. SSBO mesh vertices. And then we have this one, which is the indirect draw. Okay, not sure. Where is that? Is that not the... Ah. Did that like that? Okay. It's all not fine what I'm doing here, but it's something. So we put that there, then we create 2 more buffers. Basically chunk dot mesh vertices and chunk dot mesh vertex count, And that is this one, and that is... SSBO indirect draw. And actually, let's do it like that. Then we do this chunk here. Like that. And we do this chunk like that. We add those as well. Mesh and indirect draw. All right. And then let's go to create. We probably have to move that somehow. I don't really like how I'm doing it right now, but I want to get running today. So that's why I'm a little bit more open to do it a little bit more ugly, let's say. Hold on, that is probably that we bind that, right? So where do we card it again? No, actually, render, pre-render, begin debug layer. Okay. Is there not? Where's the? Am I stupid? Where is the? Wasn't there a bind of the? Of the shader effect? We're not doing that anymore? Begin frame. Ah, in the fixed shader node we do it. But is that a fixed one? That's a good question though. Are you a fixed one? Okay, but I mean, we don't need that, right? We can do that. Ah, and then we don't have that. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. We can deal with that. Terrain panel. So let's go here. Let's add that. No, we don't need the edit. Create terrain shader effect. Let's copy that from the terrain panel. Why not? Oh, it's that simple, right? I mean, that's pretty nice how simple that actually is. Generate terrain shader. Oh, generate mesh. That one would be this one. Perfect. I mean, that should all be fine. And now we can say command buffer bind shader effect m create terrain shader. Effect. Why did that not complain, but okay. Then bind shader effect m generate mesh shader. Which one? But yeah, feel free. What's the issue? And you built the 0.3.2 from main or from the dev branch. But it's funny that because the build system says it works fine. Unfortunate. Sure. You can either write me on Discord or you can write it here, whatever you prefer. And I can try to assist. I mean, I'm not doing that much longer anyways anymore today. Mesh vertices and the indirect draw. And then the terrain panel. Mesh vertices. Yeah, sure, that works as well. Man, my first GitHub issue. Yay. Or wait, do I want that? No, just kidding. Do it. Now we do here create push constants. Now we have generate mesh push constants. Which again, I'm not sure if we actually need anything. But whatever. Mesh push constants. All right. Is that 888? I think it's fine like that, right? Yeah. Okay, so that should probably be fine. We might have a sync issue, but we deal with that at a later point, potentially. Do I need more? I mean, it will probably fail. We are not rendering anything yet with that. But the rendering is a little bit more problematic, I think, or is it actually? Maybe not actually. Maybe we just go to volume system. Register. Okay, no, not that one. That one probably, yeah. Can we change this? So how about we do this to volume terrain, volume time, volume terrain runtime component. Now we get that. And if let's disregard that probably. Not quite sure why I would be loading. Then volume terrain. Like basically for each of those. Like actually it should have chunks, right? Yeah, exactly. We should have chunks here. Is that not? Oh, okay, maybe not volume components. Volume terrain it's not. Ah, god damn it. It's not that. Volume terrain system. Yeah, and then volume terrain chunk needs to be as well here. And then that should be forward declared probably, but whatever. And then we can do that. Then we can do this exactly. And then for each of those we add this where we do volume chunk, mesh vertices, and volume chunk a draw card, like indirect draw. And then the material is that, so maybe UTF-8 to UTF-8 to 16. Not that I know of. Which you're trying to build it in 64-bit, right? Just to be sure. Although I think that should be irrelevant. And with MSVC, I guess. Maybe. Hopefully. Why do we even use that? The other question. Ah, here. Huh. Crazy. Did you already create the issue? No. Fascinating. Because I built it on another machine and I didn't have that, but I mean, yeah, there is definitely issues from time to time. The thing is, do you, like, in what, where does it try to call that overload that it doesn't find? I mean, it's only called in 2 places, right? Is it? And it's 2 times in the same like same native window. And it's both times a string. Fascinating. Could it be that... no. Never mind. Which, did you... no, I don't know. Can you double check, like, what the C++ version is that you use? That it's C++ 20 and not 23 for some reason? Although that should be set up automatically, but you never know. That's like only one other thing that I could imagine that could be wrong, but otherwise I have no idea why it would complain about that overload. It's like pretty fascinating, not gonna lie. Okay, where do we mesh vertex count? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Indirect draw. Indirect draw. Wait, maybe... no, but hold on. Did I not fix that version? Is that the problem? Did I not... Onyx modules... I think it's in core, right? How about I fixed that version? How can that be? It should exist then, because I'm not getting any latest stuff unless he changed the version for some reason. Can I go back here? No. UTF-8. But I mean, again, didn't change anything there. Oh, god damn it, that's not it. Which one is it that I'm calling? This one was the one that we complained about, right? Yeah. And it is a string view. I mean, do I maybe need to include? No, that shouldn't be an issue here. Is it? Or is it? I'm not sure. Curious what that would be about. I've never had that issue that you have, but I mean, again, PCs are different and C++ is very fascinating from time to time. So you never know what happens. But why would it link cpp17.h? But I mean, I don't know. Unless... Do you have the correct ISO, like standard version here? Not 17, but 20? Because I'm not sure why it would take CPP 17, or I don't know, maybe. Because I go in here. Wait, I go in here and then... Oh no, this CPP 17, yeah, you're right. Interesting, I have no idea why it goes in there, but okay. Okay, no, then that should be fine. That should be fine then. Oh, but you say minus std. Which compiler are you using? MSVC or not? Ah, okay. So what are you using? Because that might help me quite a bit. Are you using like Clang or Clang CL or something like that? VS Code with CMake user preset. But what compiler? Ah, you still use MSVC or what? But shouldn't it be a slash then? I think this should be the how it's defined. Not with the dash, but with a slash std. Because minus I think is wrong. I think. But maybe not. Maybe it supports both. I don't know. I've only seen it always with slashes. But maybe that's a Visual Studio thing. Never mind. Maybe that's a Visual Studio thing. Maybe that's actually fine. I don't know. But I thought that is the thing that goes to MSVC. And it should be a slash, but maybe not. damn it, where did I lose it now? Oh, maybe it supports both, I don't know. Never mind. Did you just get the project or the template project? If you just got Onyx, then there is no actual entry point. If you got the template project, then you have an entry point. That is a little bit of something that I still want to figure out. Because then here in project, like you give it the project name when you clone that repository. But here you will have a game project. Yeah, entry point. And then you can copy that more or less if you want to. But the actual entry point is in entrypoint.cpp. Sorry. Main.cpp in the edit in application. Yes, Onyx editor is currently aesthetic. Yes. That's on my list as well, that I have an application or an executable inside the Onyx repository directly for the plain editor as well, yeah. Yeah, it is unfortunately a static library, yeah. I mean, I guess you could convert it again to a... But everything in Onyx is a static library. That's the plan. Everything in this folder should be a static library. But yeah. The template project is the easiest one to get it up and running, I would say. That's why it's there as well for now. Until I have like... Because currently I don't really have the logic of a project per se, except for a Git repository. You should clone it and not download it though. I mean, you can download it, it should work. Famous last words. It should work. But you should probably create a repository from it. I think there is a how-to anyways on that page. Yeah. So that should work. At least last time I checked that worked, but that's already when I released the engine. So it's a little bit, yeah. No worries. I want to get this out to people so that it works, right? But yeah, that's a fair point, and I think I will address that in the next version, that we probably should have an executable project inside Onyx as well, and not in this template project. I think that makes the most sense, actually. So probably I would put it outside here again, just so that you can have something running. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's not really meant for that, to be honest, but I don't know. I would have to think about that again. Did we build now? Oh yeah, we did, but we had issues. Oh yeah, we don't need that. Let's see, what else do we have? Context unreferenced parameter, perfect. class is not convertible. What? Oh. Wait, what? Did I not have the graphics frame context as a dependent? Graphics frame context. Yeah. Is that not how I did that? I mean, that's pretty much... Oh, did I not no, I implemented it. What? Why does that not work? I mean, we can do it differently for now as well. It doesn't matter really. But why would that not work? Wait, generate mesh path. Oh. But why would you say that that's a thing? Why would it be a frame context pointer? What? What do you think? Wait. Oh, is it? No. Not really sure what the problem is. I think we were just do it different than for now, and I will figure that out. So let's do graphics API, because that one already works. Graphics API. And then that is like that. Oh god. And then let's do it like that then. I don't know why you would not want to do that, but okay. Oh wait, is... Oh man, I'm stupid. No, actually I'm... Hold on. Oh, that should be fine then. And now that fails, what? But that already works. What are you talking about? That already happens here as well, right? Oh, here we actually have the frame context. What the hell? What the actual F is going on? Oh, is it because... Wait a second. Is it because... Entity component system, is it that we have to move that down here? Ah, what is it exactly? It's something stupid. Something very stupid, probably. Is it... Oh, wait, is it that... No, it's not that. It's not that. It's probably some include stuff. Because we need to... Do we need to actually... Hold on, do we need to... Here... Include Onyx gamecore.h. Is it that stupid that we have to do that? Probably, right? Yeah. Alright. That was it. How can I get rid of that? Probably moving those dependent function arguments somewhere else. Okay. Oh, we are allocating all the time. What the hell? That's not what I wanted. Let's actually do 3 by 3 for now. I mean, that should be fairly straightforward, right? How come that runs out of X, Y, Z? Oh, because I'm stupid. Oh my god. Well, that is unfortunate. Did we do... Or what was that then? 3 by 3 by 3. I mean, even that shouldn't be such a big deal, but okay. Oh, but actually no, that is actually kind of insane, right? Because we had 3 by 3 by 3, which is 27, and then that 27 times 27. So yeah, that is kind of insane at the same time with the buffer size that we currently have. Okay, I mean, maybe. Oh, we still have that, okay. Material. Why does that not work? Why is that selection broken? What? Material component in the editor. Draw asset selector. Okay, we have an asset ID here. Okay, it is actually valid. Never mind. And we actually have the material loaded on. Oh, that looks fine. Okay, never mind. All good. So then let's see, volume system. Are we not registering that? Okay, now we are getting here. We have mesh vertices. Okay, maybe we should look at render doc then. Huh. Okay, let's see render doc maybe. Cause that's kind of sus. I mean that I'm not showing the name here. Kinda weird as well, but okay. Nope. 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 I mean, it's probably... Oh, that's 0, 0. That is sus. Right? Because that means we have 0 stuff here to draw. Which is kinda weird. And we only have like a buffer here. Shouldn't we have an indirect buffer as well? But okay. Let's assume that's correct. I don't know. I mean, that should work. Famous last words. I think we will look at that tomorrow. And I want to get my debug labels back because holy shit, that's annoying if that doesn't work. But, I mean... Yeah, I think we can't really see... Wait, what? Oh, that's the old one, right? Yeah. we can't really see what's going on here. But even then it should have generated something. Can I see resources? Shouldn't we have... Yeah, we have a volume mesh vertex here. Okay, that's all zeros. As if it was not running? But why would that be? Because that should have run. I don't know. We will look at that, as I said, tomorrow. That's very weird. I mean, I guess what we could do is run that for now. Just that, right? Just terrain creation. Because that should at least fill the stuff. In the resources we should. Or does it delete them then because they are not used? Nah. Is that really how it's done? I think it is. Stupid. But even then, it's a read access, right? Alright, whatever. We will deal with that. Thank you very much for joining. We will look at that tomorrow. And hopefully we then have a flat surface of a 3x3 grid for the terrain. And then we will see how we move forward here with making it dynamically grow and dynamically be able to edit it, because currently the edit in the terrain panel only works on one chunk, and we need to be able to get the chunk we intersect with. So yeah, did you get it to work with the template project? Or you still ran into the same problem? What's up? Or did you give up already? Which I can understand as well. Oh, okay. Is it a me issue or a you issue? Oh, okay. Cool. Sounds nice. See, make fun stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is... That... Yeah, I'm not sure. I think... Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think that C++ thing was kind of a thing that I wanted to get rid of eventually. I mean, MSVC is just a compiler, so it's fine, right? Because Visual Studio uses MSVC in the background as well. But I have not done a setup using CMake Visual Studio Code with CMake basically, so probably I should run through that to find some edge cases there as well. Because yeah, it's quite common that people use Visual Studio Code nowadays. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, that's fascinating. That's something I will definitely not do. Alright, hello Mickey Maven and good night Mickey Maven. I am calling it a day. We are back tomorrow, unless I get sick again, which is very unrealistic, and let's hope not. And then we continue with that terrain stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure where it goes wrong currently with the chunks, but we will figure it out. Probably something stupid. Thank you, thank you. Have a nice rest of your evening. Goodbye.